Good morning, everybody. I'm Jeff Blankenberg, and we're here today to work on our skills. So very, very quick background before we get working. I am working on a skill that is for Alexa skill developers. So it provides a lot of examples and experiences that would be otherwise somewhat challenging to be able to do on your own. A good example is, for one, being able to hear a sound effect. You can dig into our tech docs. What's going on with my hair this morning? You can dig into our tech docs and you can find all the sound effects there. But as you're working, sometimes it's nice to be able to just ask the device, like, "Hey, can you just play that sound effect for me?" Or speech cons are another example. Another thing that I'm focused on with this is providing Q&A. But the bigger picture thing is that I want this skill to do as many of the things as it possibly can. And so that includes things like the new Alexa shopping actions, where you can buy a product directly from a skill. I don't necessarily have any interest in selling products. I mean, if somebody buys something, that's great. But what I do have an interest in is allowing developers to hear what it sounds like without having to set up their own skill and get it all working, to hear what it sounds like to buy a product from Alexa. And so what I'm going to do is I already have the base workings of this setup. But what I'm going to focus on today is making sure that a user can order a bunch of different products just by asking for them. And what I'm going to do is offer the array of Echo devices. So right now, the base I have set up, you can buy an Echo Dot. But I want you to be able to say, I want the Echo Show 15, or I want the Echo Show 8. So I'm showing how I'm using slot values to sell a product. And then once I've done that, we need to catch that response so that when the transaction is over, that one, I remind the user, because these are developers using this skill, that, hey, you really did just place an order. So you're going to want to cancel that order unless you wanted the device. And two, to be able to let them know like all of the different pieces and parts, the conversation that happens when you order something is not fully in your control. Alexa tells the user about a product, tells them how much it is, steers them into buying or not buying the product. All of that stuff happens kind of behind the scenes. We don't get to decide what that conversation looks like. So I thought this would be a useful way to see what is said, how it's said, when it's said, and kind of work through all the code for that as well. So that being said, it's a lot of saids. Let me get into my code here. I have that up and running, as you can see. And I don't have the file that I need open. So just a quick background. If we start at the very beginning, in my interaction model, you can see that I have a buy product intent. And in here, I just have get a product or buy a product. Let's add another thing here, just as we're thinking about what these should look like, and order a product. And we don't know what product is yet. That's okay. Stop. Boy, jumping between a Mac and a PC is always a challenge. Forget all my keystrokes. I need to remap these to make them more useful for myself. Hey, Frank Levine, good morning. So, all right. So now that we've got this, Oh, you know what? There's one other thing I wanted to do. Let me, I just want to tell people that I'm doing this, a little self promotion. So I'm going into the Alexa community Slack. If you guys aren't aware, good morning, Kevin Evans. If you're not aware of the Slack, check it out. It's alexa.design/Slack. You can join there. If anybody interested, I've started doing some live Alexa development over on my own Twitch and YouTube. So I can do this. Twitch.tv/Jeff Blankenberg. And then I guess I could add the YouTube link. Well, that's good for now. So we'll throw that in there. That's perfect. Okay, so maybe we'll get a few more friends over here today, and if not, that's okay. I'm here to build, and so while I love having all of you here, this is just my opportunity to like dedicate an hour and a half to getting something built. So I have samples here that are get, buy, and order a product, and then if we go find our slot value, which should not be too much further down here. No, it must be below all of my. Is it here? Is it here? There we go. So you can see that I have a product slot that's called product. And in here, I have Echo Show 15, I have Echo Show, I have Echo Dot, and I have Echo. I suppose that I could make this list longer, but for the most part, I don't know that all of that is necessary. And so one of the things that I want to do is that I need the ASIN values, the Amazon identification number, because that's how we end up selling a product. And so the inexpensive way to do this is to go to Amazon. Let's go look up the Echo Show 15. Let's see. Okay, there's the Echo Show 15. So in here, once I'm on this page, you can see in my URL that I have all sorts of data here, right? There's all sorts of things in my query string. But this one that starts with B08MQL, this is the ASIN. And so I can take that, and I'm going to jump back into my code here, and we're going to add a new property to this slot value. I did that wrong, colon. Again, key mapping is the worst for me. I want to paste that. Then I want to close the quotes. Then I want a comma. There we go. Okay, so that is the ASIN for the Echo Show 15. So what happens if I type in Echo Show on Amazon? What do I get if I just type in? I guess I should probably offer like the 5 and the 8 and maybe even the 10, right? We could do that. So let's go back to our code for a second. We'll just change this out. So we're going to say so that's the 15. Well, there's the 10, 8, and 5. We have the Echo Dot, and then an Echo would be like the taller one. Hey, Brian Tarbox, good morning. So now I've got a bunch of different products. Now I just need to go get those ASINs. So let's grab those really quick. The Echo Show 8 is this ASIN, and that goes here. The goodness. Do that, and then that, and then that, and then a comma. Thank you. Okay. Now let's go find the Echo Show. Oh, I just did the 8, so I did the wrong one. Okay. Let's take this. Make my life a little easier. We'll take this out for the ones I don't already have. Okay, so Echo Show 10 is going to be next. So we'll get the ASIN for that. And I'll show you how this all works. If you haven't done a lot with slot values, you can do a lot of very creative things to make your life easier. So by just using that ID field, it's basically a way to hide some metadata for yourself in a way that's useful, and it's provided to you when someone actually matches your slot. So, okay, Echo Show 5 is next. Come on, Echo Show 5. I just saw that there was a new color of this one, this blue. I hadn't seen this before. This deep sea blue. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's kind of like a very navy, little, it's got a little ocean color to it, but it's a deep sea blue. I hadn't seen this color before, and I actually, due to some program Amazon was running where they canceled a service that I was using or something, as an apology, they said, hey, here's an Echo Show 5 for free. And so I got one of these blue ones just a day or two ago. Anyway, let's get the ASIN for that. And that goes here. And then we need an Echo Dot. Now, the Echo Dot, I thought I already had the ASIN for that, but I must have just deleted it, so that's okay. Echo Dot. And we'll go with the 4th gen. I like the 4th gen one. So we'll take that, and we'll get a ASIN for that one. That's going to go here. And then what if we just type in Echo? What's the most recent, Echo that has been released? Is there one that's like a tower style? That's the 1st gen. Maybe Echo isn't even a word I should use. Right, we've got all the Echo Shows. We've got the Echo Dot. What if I say Amazon Echo? Also, like the Echo Plus, I could try that also. There's the Echo Studio. I suppose I could include that one. Yeah, a lot of those are old. So there's been an announcement that there's going to be a device event coming up soon. So I would imagine we'll see some, what if I say Plus? Some new devices coming out soon. Yeah, see, all of these are pretty much not for sale. So I wonder what they're going to do with this this body style. Yeah, it could be, Kevin. I think, we've still had some versions like this that are, like I have one here somewhere, I'm sure. Yeah, these cylindrical ones with the fabric, right? So I've got, I can bump my screen off for a second. Come on. This is like a cylindrical fabric covered one with the Echo controls on top. This is probably 2 years old though, so I don't know what the story is or when that's going to be released. One of the good or maybe bad things about our fall device event is that I don't get any insights. Like, it's not as if I'm going to get some pre-brief that's going to tell me what's going on and what's going to be announced. I'm going to find out with all of you. So it's kind of good for me because I get to watch and learn at the same time. But it's also annoying because I want to know what's coming and be able to prepare for it. Okay, so we've got our ASIN list. I'll just take that last one out, and I can't even remember how to do that. Goodness. Okay, we've got our ASIN list, and so one of the things that I need to do then is republish my model. So I added a new utterance to my buy intent, and then while we're waiting for that, I can take you through the code because it's pretty simple. So I added a new one here, order a product, and then I have all of those individual products. So what I'm going to do is say, am I in the right folder? Yeah, ask deploy. And that's going to push my model up, and it's going to build it and whatever. And so we'll wait. While we're waiting for that, we can jump into some code. And it says, Brian Tarbox says, I've been holding off on getting a Show 15 as I've heard the spherical dots don't have as good a sound as the previous versions. I honestly feel like the spherical ones have better sound than the hockey puck style Echo Dots ever did. I think the hockey puck ones that have the fabric on the sides, do I have one of those sitting here? I don't have one available to show, but I have this rainbowy one, here kind of next to me. These I think have pretty good sound, but when you think back to like this style, like the plastic casing and the whatever, these sounded fine, especially at the time, but comparatively, I think that the round spherical dots sound significantly better. So that's just my opinion. I also don't use any of the like any third party stuff. So I definitely listen to the music from the devices themselves. The Lambda failed. See, I was afraid of that. Okay. So what we need to do is ask deploy ignore hash. Yeah, ignore hash. This is the problem when you work from multiple machines. The way that the SDK and all the pieces work here is that it creates this ask states, and it has all of these individual hashing values, these. And so as I push everything to GitHub and then I bring everything over to another machine, I have these hash values, but they don't match what you've seen on this machine before. And so I have to say, hey, ignore the hash. I just want you to deploy it anyway because my hashes don't match anymore. I feel like all of my dozen or so devices have become increasingly less responsive to voice. Boy, that's interesting. I feel like, it's one of those things where we're working with a service that's constantly evolving. But in my opinion, Brian, I feel like the devices are more accurate than I've heard in the past. They seem to only do the things that I want them to do. Now, I have the problem of having, most of them are muted most of the time, but I have a lot of devices in this room. There's generally only one on at a time that's unmuted and it's near my desk while I'm working. And you have trouble hearing the wake word. Interesting. The only time I ever see people run into that issue, and I'm not sure you could have something else I just haven't seen, is when people put them in corners. Corners create a lot of echoes for the device. And so if you're putting it in like the corner of a countertop in a kitchen or in a bedroom or something like that, I find that sometimes can cause more interference because you're getting sound bouncing off of a bunch of different directions. And it's not sure if one person's talking or multiple people are talking because it uses that microphone array to determine where to listen. And if sound's coming from everywhere, then it can't always piece it together. I don't know if that's the case that you're running into, but if you have them in corners, I don't recommend it. Okay, I want to actually get some code written here. So what we're going to do is go to the by product intent. So this is just to give you a quick rundown. I showed you my interaction model. Then when I come into my code, I have a by product intent handler. And the way that I structure all of my code is that I externalize everything. And so I have the conditional here, right? I have the, is it the by product intent? Can handle. But then what I'm going to actually return, I externalizing these into other files. It just makes things a lot cleaner. So you can see that this file is really simple and straightforward. And then I can just focus on putting the by product intent stuff in its own file. And so that's how we get to the by product intent. And so this piece here, what it does today is it will sell you an Echo Dot. And then that's all that it does. And so I want to show you kind of how these pieces work when we think about Alexa shopping actions. I know this works today. And so I'm going to show you how this piece works. And then we're going to have to write some code to actually get the right slot value. In fact, we can do that here in just a second, because I think we have, let's just do that right now. So I have helper here already. Helper is a file that I created years ago that has all sorts of little mechanisms in it for me. One of them is get resolved words. And this has grown and grown in complexity over the years as the requests have gotten more complex. But what it basically does is returns to me an array of values that were returned as part of the entity resolution that I see with my slots. And so if I come into, where did it go? By product intent, let's just do that. The first thing that I want to do is use my helper function. So we'll say var product list. And this is going to be helper.get resolved words. Of words. That's the right. thing, but that's all right. And then I pass my handler input, which contains all of the request in there. And then I also want to say which slot value do I want. And the slot value that I want is called product. And that should be all I need to do. So that gives me an array of resolved things, resolved entities. That's really what it should be called. And gives me what I need. Now, this introduces a new challenge for us. What if we didn't resolve anything? What if they said, buy a taco? I use taco a lot because taco is not something I generally find in skills. But so I have to now build myself a conditional that's like, hey, we only sell Echo products here or something like that. So if we look at get resolve words, what does it send back? If I look at helper, what does it send back? It returns undefined if it finds nothing. So we can say if product list is not undefined, then we're going to do our normal stuff, right? We're gonna do all of this. I could probably take that. Okay, so this is going to go here. And what we're going to need to do is outside of that if statement, we're going to have to create speak output, because this is the thing that we send back to the user. So we'll just create that as empty. And we can also do our action query. And this is the thing that I say at the end. It's like, hey, what do you want to do next or whatever, right? I always have a question that I end all my statements with. And so this is going to be, if we look at the things that we've included here, data.getRandomSpeech. And the speech type that I want is going to be action query. And the locale is going to be helper.getLocale handler input. Okay, so you can see that I'm basically just building a bunch of helpers for myself so that I don't have to think. I don't have to think about what I'm doing. I don't have to remember, like, how do I get the locale? I just built myself a thing that goes and gets the locale for me. I don't have to think about like writing speech or doing any of that stuff. I already have it all in a database. And so actually I need this. So wait. And this goes out and it gets me a random thing that is an action query from my database for the specific locale that the user happens to be in. And so then this action query, I take that and bring it down. I don't know if it's action task there, but action query is what it should be. And then I also need to combine these here. So this actually needs to be more like this. And then something like this. Action query. And then one of those closing ticks, and we're good. Okay. So the other thing that we do here, oh, I know why, because action task. That's why, because we also need a reprompt. I don't know that I actually need this, and we'll find out here in a second. Action query. And then this was actually supposed to be action task. Action task. Okay. So I have, if the product list is not undefined, then we create this action task. And we probably should do something like that. And then we can just get rid of this piece. Witters, you're right. It does have a helper. The problem is that I wrote this way before they had theirs. And so I just continue to use that, but you're right. It does. The Ask SDK already has a get locale function. But I've just gotten in the habit of using mine. I wish the Ask SDK had things like get resolve words or getting spoken words or a bunch of the other stuff that I have in here. Supports APL. There's a couple of others in here that I wish that I had seen, but I've had this helper file built for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now, and it's just become kind of the thing that I use. So maybe I'll have to explore that and use the SDK stuff instead, because it probably looks like these, right? Alexa.getIntentName. There's probably Alexa.getIntentName get locale.
Start listening when you press the mic button or use a wait.
Oh my goodness.
For more information,
Alexa, stop. Okay. So back to our byproduct intent. If it's undefined, then we're going to do the thing. And oh, Kevin, your question was, whenever you come up from error from coding, I saw your Airtable tweet the other day. Did they reply with anything from there? And no, I haven't gotten any reply at all. I don't know that I will. I have a lot of conversations with their support team because I'm constantly trying to do things that are kind of outside the box of what they're trying to do. I think in many ways they think of Airtable as like a Jira competitor for a lot of purposes, and it can do that, but it's more flexible than that. And there's a lot of other cool stuff that they could be doing, and so I'm trying to push them towards the cooler stuff. But maybe they'll reply. Who knows? It was Monday. Maybe their social media team doesn't work till Tuesday, or they were catching up on stuff or whatever. We'll see. Anyway, so I have the product that they gave me, and I say if product list exists, then what I want to do is just take the first one. I'm going to assume that whatever I resolve is the thing that they wanted, if they resolved anything at all. And so this ASIN value now actually becomes product list dot zero dot ID. We're gonna have to actually check that. That may be wrong, but we'll find out in just a second. And then we have this sending product to Amazon. This is something that I'm struggling with. Let's do. What if we do? Okay, sending you to Amazon to complete your purchase. This is basically me handing it off. I'm sending them off to I'm sending them off to Alexa, to Amazon, to make their purchase. They're not making it directly through me. And so this feels okay. I don't actually know that I need this action query. We'll find out about how it's going to treat a reprompt. I don't know how any of that works. So we'll see. But let's go ahead and start our local debugging. Hopefully at least all my code runs. That's a good sign. All right, let's jump over to a browser, maybe. And we can refresh this just to make sure we've got everything right. And we're going to say Open Voice Developer.
This is Voice Developer. Did you know that you can ask for sound effects? Just say something like, play a laser sound effect.
Okay, so I opened the skill. Now what I want to do is say buy an Echo. Let's say buy a taco first, because I didn't really write any of the conditional for that yet, did I? So if it's undefined, I still need an else here. Say output equals, I'm sorry, we don't actually sell. And this is again where those values become very handy. So I have product list, but I could have of our spoken words equals helper get spoken words. Okay, so I'm going to take my spoken words. This is what the user actually said to me. Hey, I want to buy this product, whatever that thing was. We don't actually sell, so let's change this to this, and this to this, and then semicolon, and then in here we can do one of these. You can ask for an Echo or Echo Show device to make a. Okay. Obviously, we'll have to rip all this content out. One of my rules is that there's no spoken words in my code. All of that lives in the database someplace, so we will rip that out later. But let's restart our service and come back to the browser, which I believe is over here. And then let's say buy a taco and see what it does.
Ditto. What should we do now?
Well, that isn't what I asked you to do at all. Buy a taco. Interesting. Let's try one other thing just to see how this is going to work. What if I say buy a taco? What intent do you hit? SpeechCon intent. Why do you hit the SpeechCon intent? Order a taco. Why is it hitting a sound effect intent? That's not how I would have expected that to go. Sound effect intent has play, give me. So did I not upload all this up by? I didn't. That didn't come up here somehow. So I'm always torn on this, but it seems like it's not doing what I want it to do. So if I say buy a product instead of an, and I say order a product, and then we'll do order and product, because it's like order and echo. Like people probably say and then we could do a buy and. No, I did buy get and product. So let's save that model. I also want to make sure that I don't lose those changes as we do this. So let me come into my buy intent. Just take this little chunk here. And in our model, which lived here, this is the one that ends up on GitHub. Let's make sure that we have that correct. Okay, so just this chunk here and that chunk. Okay, so now as we wait for our build to finish, did it finish? I don't actually know. Did I maybe I didn't even ask it to build. That's also possible. Okay, so we are building. You'll be notified when the model build is completed. Great. And then we'll try, I guess, evaluating our model again as soon as the quick build is done. That should happen here in just a moment. Buy a taco. That should definitely hit the buy product intent. It's so weird that that's what it chose to do. Let's see. Come on, build. Doesn't want to play nice today. Did I do something wrong? Is it going to fail? Why is this taking so long? There we go. Quick build successful. Buy a taco. Now it hits the buy product intent. So I just hadn't updated my model well enough. Okay. So that being said, I want to make sure that our code is still running. And it is. So I should be able to come into here. Not that one. And I should be able to say, buy a taco.
There was a problem with the requested skills response.
Cool. What was the error? Was there an error? What should we do now? Oh, that's the previous stuff. I don't see an error. Weird. Let's restart this here and just see what could have happened. I'm not sure. If I say play a laser sound effect, you're probably going to do a bunch of sound effects, right?
Playing the music you requested.
Nope.
For over 90 million songs on demand.
Voice developer.
Welcome to the voice developer. Another
laser sound effect.
Aha! What would you like to try?
Man, my model is falling apart this morning. Okay, let's sit down. Let's get serious about this. Why? Why would that be the case? Why would you think that I want the SpeechCon intent when I say play a laser sound effect? What did I didn't change anything. If I come in here and I say play a laser sound effect, why? let's look. Boy, I'm just breaking stuff left and right. Speech con intent. Because I thought I got rid of the word play. Play is not used there. Save, build. Let's go into our actual model. Play, play, play. Yeah, play's not here. I don't know how it got back up there. Play is only used for sound effect. Okay. Weird. This is mostly a result of me trying to move too fast. Normal process would be that I would make my changes in my interaction model in my code. Then I would do an ask deploy, and I wouldn't be like messing around with the tool here. I would just push my changes there. But I was trying to be faster, and it looks like I also made a mistake along the way. So hopefully this will solve our problem. So if I say play laser sound effect, wrong one. Play laser sound effect. Play sound effect. This makes no sense to me. I don't even use the word play there. Give me a sound effect. What? All right. This is not what I wanted to spend my time on, but sound effect intent. We should, okay, so maybe give me a sound effect. Play a sound effect. Yeah, see, this is just old. Why? I wonder why we have the old here. Because it should look like these four, which are ones that I've already asked deployed these here. I don't know why. Sound effect, sound effect, sound effect. Weird, 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 weird. This is just versioning. That's all I'm really running into. This is, I had things working and then I must have pushed an older version in or something. So this feels good now. Like I don't have the word play in SpeechCon at all. And I only have play in the examples here. And this is the version that I normally use. Very weird though that like I ended up with an old version of this. I don't know how I did that. Anyway, we are quick building in progress. We should be able to now say a sound effect. Come on. It's already 9 o'clock. Ah, okay. Play a sound effect. Yeah, France 193. This video will be available on my YouTube and my Twitch and whatever. So yeah, you'll be able to watch the whole thing. Play. Oh, I still don't have that in there. Well, how did I? Oh, I'm such an idiot. Okay. Do I have those in my actual model? I don't have them here either. Okay, so I'm just a sound effect. One. And then we can also say, give me a sound effect. That sounds good. Let's stop debugging for a second. Let's go to our terminal. Let's say ask deploy. Ignore hash. And push what I have here up. Because if you look at my SpeechCon intent, I don't have the word play here at all. And if I look at my sound effect intent, I have play in a bunch of places. It's the only place that play is used. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, just as a reminder, France, I am actually broadcasting this on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So if you're not, if you're not paired up with me on LinkedIn, you can find it there too. But this video should persist on YouTube and LinkedIn at a minimum, but maybe also Twitch, at least temporarily. I think like 30 days it'll live there, and then it goes away. I notice that my camera's being weird. It seems to disappear every couple seconds. Can I also do this? Ooh, I like that. I like that better. Let's do that view. Okay, we're building our skill code. That's the lambda. I didn't really make any changes there, so that's fine. So let's try this one more time. Give me, let's try first. Play a sound effect. Sound effect intent. What a magical, amazing experience we're having. What if I say, give me a sound effect? Wow, amazing. When you get your interaction model right, everything works again. Okay, so I think we can move past that. That wasn't why we were here at all. What we want to do now is say, buy a taco. And this should take buy a taco. Listen, SpeechCon intent. You and I are about to throw hands because this is... I don't even believe that there... If I... Search. Okay. Find taco. There, but not in my model. What? Make sure there's like in my model, the word taco is not there, right? Talk is there, not talk. Huh. This is bizarre to me. SpeechCon intent. Why do you have so much power? Taco is not a SpeechCon, W. Giorgio. That was actually my first instinct, was like, oh, maybe there's a taco SpeechCon, but there's not. I can search that a bunch of different ways. If we go to my SpeechCon table, this is all of the SpeechCons, and if I search in here, still no tacos to be found. And this is across languages and everything too, right? This is a crazy table. If you haven't seen this, there's 1,200 records. There's 1,200 SpeechCons across all of the different languages, and I have them all here and tagged by locale. I'm also adding types. This is a major project, but like cock-a-doodle-doo is an animal sound. So you could say, give me an animal sound SpeechCon, and it would play an animal sound for you. But I have to tag them that way because nobody else has tagged them that way. But I have, if I look at SpeechCon types, these are the types that I have so far: animal sound, welcomes, celebration, disappointment, frustration, surprise, yes, no, darn, thank you, that kind of stuff. And so I'm going to go through and tag. I'm trying to like catalog them, right, so that I know what they all are and how they sound, and I'll need help with the foreign language ones. But this at least let me say like, oh, give me a goodbye SpeechCon, or give me a welcome SpeechCon, so that you can kind of mix it up and randomize as you want to go. Anyway, not what I'm trying to do today. I'm trying to buy a product. I just wanted to test this, and I'm not having any success. So if we look at our developer console, what if I say buy an Echo Show 15? That worked. So why does buy a taco go somewhere else? I mean, it's fine. It's not fine, because they explicitly said buy a thing. What else can I do to my buy product intent? Buy a product. Buy an product. Let's go to the top of this. Buy a product. We'll do another one, which is buy product. Okay, I'm not too worried about the taco for now. We can come back to that. I just want to get through the rest of this. And so this byproduct intent is where we're hitting. I want to make sure that I'm actually running my code locally. One of the greatest things is the local debugging here in VS Code. And I am ready to go. So I should probably slap like a breakpoint right here too, just so that I can see what the product list is and if I'm referring to this properly. So let's go here, and let's say buy and echo show 15. Why not? We hit my breakpoint probably. Yeah, so product list 0 value.id. Product list dot 0 dot value dot id. Okay, so let's go. Oh, dot. That means this is didn't I have the name? Oh, I thought I was going to have. I guess I didn't do that. Okay, let's go.
There was a problem with the requested skills response.
I probably waited too long. Okay, let's do Open Voice Developer.
Hello, and welcome to Voice Developer. This skill can give you information and answers about Alexa skill development. What can I help you do next?
Can I type a number? Usually you can't type a number. Buy an Echo Show 15. What are you going to do?
There was a problem with the requested skills response.
What? So you can see that I got back 4 values, and the 15 is the one that's prioritized. The slot value I got was Echo Show 15. All of that is great. So here's what I think. Here's my suspicion. I'm going to take Action Query out of the game. That's not hurting me. But I'm going to get rid of the reprompt. I think I might have left this reprompt off because you can't do that. I think you can maybe not send a reprompt if you're also sending this directive. So let's try that again. Open Voice Developer. We'll add this to my list.
This is Voice Developer. Did you know I can repeat what I just...
Buy an Echo Show 15.
Okay, sending you to Amazon to complete your purchase. What would you like to do next?
That's fine.
Here are the product details from Amazon. Your purchase includes Amazon Echo Show 15, Full HD 15.6-inch smart display with Alexa. The total including tax, after $25 in discounts and credits, is $240.74. Would you like to buy it?
So this is what I mean when I say I want developers to be able to see and feel and understand what this experience is like. So this okay, sending you to Amazon to complete your purchase. What would you like to do next? And that's me. That's my statement. And if we look at it, it's this right here. Okay, sending you to complete your purchase. And then I also have this action query, which I'm going to lose because we don't. I'm going to say, okay, sending you to Amazon to complete your purchase. But that doesn't really work very well because I say sending you to Amazon to complete your purchase. And then it says, here are the product details from Amazon. So I feel like what I really just want this to say is like, okay. Right? Like I want to acknowledge that like, okay, you're buying that thing. And so if I come back here again and say the same thing, actually don't, that's not going to work. So if I say no, I don't want to buy the thing. Put it in here.
Okay, Jeff, I had trouble doing what you asked.
Okay, I can live with that.
Please try again.
That's my default error. So let's try that again. Buy an Echo Show 15.
Okay, here are the product details from Amazon.
Yeah, I think that sounds
Your
better.
purchase includes Amazon Echo Show 15, Full HD 15.6-inch smart display with Alexa. The total including tax, after $25 in discounts and credits, is $240.74. Would you like to buy it?
Okay, so now here's where it gets tricky. The first thing I want to do is handle the no. So I'm going to say no. See what happens to our skill.
Okay, Jeff, I had trouble doing what you asked. Please try again.
Speak output is not defined in the session resume request. So this is something that I've already built, but it's not really not really working yet. I actually borrowed the code directly from the sample, so I have some work to do here to really clean this up and make it what I want, but I want it to work. And so the error that I'm getting is I'm asking for speak output here, but I probably never defined that. So I have speech text here. I think that's where I'm running into an issue. Speech text is what I would call speak output. So let's take that, and everywhere we find speech text, this is really the sample directly from the tech docs. And so what they do is they define speak output here, and this is the error message. And then what they do is they go through all of the response possibilities and they replace that value with thanks for purchasing an Echo or whatever. If there's an error, it looks like there's an issue. Let's go back to the skill. There's a problem adding an item to your cart, whatever. There's all these different potential default error messages, and then we just send that back. So do I have action query? I do. So let's see, maybe that was the only issue I had. So I'll refresh that. Let's come back here, buy another Echo Show 15. Not really buying them yet. We're going to do that here in a second, though. I'll show you how easy that is.
Okay, here are the product details from Amazon.
Okay.
Your purchase includes Amazon Echo Show 15, Full HD 15.6-inch smart display, with Alexa. The total including tax, after $25 in discounts and credits, is $240.74. Would you like to buy it?
Okay, so if I say no, what should I like to know what I should expect? So I don't actually see a thing in here for like, does it even show me if I do request payload? This is a buy product intent. Okay, so that's when we asked to buy the product. And it hasn't come back yet. So if we say no now, then we should get a response.
Okay, thank you for purchasing an Echo. What can I help you do next?
Got it. Okay, so this is where learning this stuff really comes in handy. So I'm saying thank you for purchasing an Echo because the token came through. One of the things that we don't as developers get to know is whether or not they actually bought the product. So I can't thank them for buying it. And I can't say, oh, okay, maybe you could buy it later, because I don't actually know. They don't give me that information. I would be interested if I look at like they have this info. The buy action was a success. Okay, so I see code 200. That just means success. Message is success. Payload is undefined. But I think all this really means is that we didn't fail, right? Success is a weird response. So let's do a yes. Let's see if we get anything different for this line here, this payload, because I'm wondering what they expect the payload to be. It looks like type of payload is undefined. Payload could be retry later. Let's see if we get a different payload for actually buying it. So buy me an Echo Show 15. Let's do it. I'll have to actually go cancel my order, but that's fine. I'm also very confused by the discounting.
Okay, here are the product details from Amazon. Your purchase includes Amazon Echo Show 15, Full HD 15.6-inch smart display, with Alexa. The total including tax, after $25 in discounts and credits, is $240.74. Would you like to buy it?
Okay, this time I'm going to say yes. This really does buy it. And I agree with you, Brian. Like, if I don't know if they bought it, how do I know when to offer it to them? The way that I'm building this is it's an intent, right? The user is buying the thing. But you're right. If I'm building like a yoga skill, and from time to time I want to offer them to buy a yoga mat or some blocks or whatever, I I need to know whether or not they've bought them before. Or maybe there's something that is a real world consumable, like some kind of beverage, right? They bought a case of a specific beverage. And you know that there's 24 in a case, and they ordered them, and there's probably 2 days shipping. So like 30 days from now, you should ask them if they want to buy more. Hey, how did you like that? Right? Like you could do things like that if you know they buy it, but I don't actually know. So I'm going to say yes. Let's see if anything changes here.
To order it, tell me Jeff's voice code.
Forgot. Okay.
Thanks. Order placed. Your total is $240.74, including tax, and will be delivered by September 29th.
Sweet.
Thank you for purchasing an Echo. Another thing I can do is play speech cons. Bazinga! Just ask me to say a speech con. What else can I help you with?
Oh, went the wrong way. So if I scroll all the way down here and I look at the payload is still undefined, so I don't know anything different. The things I know are the things I know, and so I can't congratulate them for making a purchase. I can't do any of that. But let's be diligent here. Let's go to my orders. You can see that in fact I bought an Echo Show 15 that will arrive tomorrow. My goodness. Let's cancel that. By mistake. They need a way for me to test this without ordering each individual time. I also haven't figured out a way to do that. Cancel selected items in this order. Yes, please. Sweet. Okay. So all of that worked, but whether they buy or don't buy, they end up in the same condition. And I will go through and I'll clean all of this up because I don't like all of this weird switching and else ifing. But it looks like I can't say thank you for purchasing an Echo. I could say welcome back. And then I could throw on, and then that throws on my action query. Let's try that. We'll say no because it's obviously the same. Buy an Echo Show 15.
Okay, here are the product details from Amazon. Your purchase includes Amazon Echo Show
I know the
15,
next thing you're going to
Full
ask me is
HD
no.
15.
Can I just fast forward like that?
Okay, welcome back. Another thing I can do is play speech cons. Bazinga! Just ask me to say a speech con. What else can I help you with?
So I just said welcome back. That feels okay. I'm kind of indicating that like, hey, you left for a little while and now you're coming back. They provide the okay. I don't have a chance to play that part. It's weird that like I'm offering a leading okay. That's my content. Then they do their product details stuff. And then on the way out, they say okay. And then I can say welcome back. But I can't really acknowledge anything about their purchase. I suppose I could ask them, hey, did you buy it? That's probably against some rules. I'm sure there's probably a certification issue with that. But I've got it working and that feels pretty good. Like I said, I will go back through and clean this up. And like, I don't know that I need all of this. Request.cause. I don't even see that written out anywhere. Do you see a request.cause even? If request.cause exists, so cause just has the token, the status, and then the status has the code and the message and the result. And we saw code, message, and payload here. And then we must not have hit any of the code. So yeah, I expect I can probably simplify this quite a bit. So Brian says, that's why I like shopping only from APL. Yeah, I mean, with APL, are you just providing them a button that takes them to a browser? How are you handling that? because I know you were talking about how there's certain button events that don't do what you want them to do or whatever. But I've got my product. I can buy it. I can do the thing. We should go back one more time and just see if I can buy a different product and if it actually works. We didn't actually verify that our slot is doing what it's supposed to. So if I say buy an Echo Show 8, it should give me the 8, right?
Okay, here are the product details from Amazon. Your purchase includes Amazon Echo Show 8
Yeah.
second generation,
That works quite
HD Smart
nicely.
Display with Alexa, 2021 release, charcoal. The total including tax, after $13 in discounts and credits, is $125.18. Would you like to buy it?
No. So here's the other thing that I might be running into. I know we've been talking about discounting, and Kevin Evans, you said, hey, it's kind of a weird number. I feel like I've probably already run through it, but we at Amazon get a company discount. It's not substantial. Don't think that I have some amazing powers here. They give you a code that you apply to your account the first time you use it, like any discount code or gift card code or anything you would use on Amazon. And what that code does is applies a 10% discount to your account for purchases that come from Amazon. So you have to buy it directly from Amazon. And that includes like the FBA stuff, anything that you're purchasing that's going to come out of an Amazon warehouse, basically. And you get 10% off, but only on the first $1,000 worth of goods. So that's really $100. Like it's $100 off each year is what that discount is as an employee. And I kind of got late on using it initially because normally I use it like early January and it's gone by February, right? I've burned through that just with things we buy for our house. So I think that because this looks like 10% discount, right? The Echo Show 8 is $130, something like that. The Echo Show 15 was $250, and then when you add the tax back in, that's where you end up with like 100. That's what it feels like to me, is that they're taking 10% off, and then adding taxes. So that might be why I'm seeing a discount. I'm assuming those of you that have played with this before, you do not see that discount. So that's probably why that is showing up there. Okay. All right. I feel pretty good about where we landed today. We got our product sold. We were able to identify individual products. The Echo Show 8 came through marvelously, as we just saw. Would I like to buy it? No.
Okay, welcome back. What should we
And
do now?
I will have to at some point. Yeah, see, this is nice. Like, welcome back. What should we do now? Like, I like that because I don't really have anything else to say to you. I don't know if you bought it. I can't congratulate you. I can't say, oh, so, you can always ask for it later. That's tricky not knowing. Like with ISPs, I know whether or not you bought it. I have to because it's in the skill. But man, it's a trickier situation. Anyway, I will also have to build an entire add to cart flow. Should be a lot of copy and paste. Should be pretty easy. I'm not going to do that this morning, though. I've got to get some things together. I'm going to jump in the shower and try to look a little bit nicer for all of you for office hours, which is coming up in about 2 hours. So maybe a little breakfast, maybe a little shower, and then I'll see all of you at office hours. So glad to get an hour and a half in this morning. This is always good. And maybe I'll be back tomorrow, but definitely I think Thursdays for sure. I'm still figuring out this schedule, but I'm glad you guys joined me here today. This is super cool. And I will see you at office hours in just a couple of hours. Anyway, take care, guys. I'll see you soon.